Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, ladies. Woo! Time to rise and shine and smell the flowers today. Hello, beauties.
These these mornings are hard. And I had a meeting right after this one. So I had to like do all the things. And yeah, I'm cranky.
Nah, you don't look
No,
cranky at
look,
all, Jen. You look beautiful.
instead of a mug, like this is my coffee this morning and it was full. It's like a
There you
milk
go.
glass.
That's the way to have it. That's the way to have it.
That's okay, Jen. We all do it.
Yes, I have a full day today, nonstop until like 4 o'clock today. I mean, like meeting after meeting. So I'm excited, but then I'm like, wow, why did I do that?
I got the same thing going on. I got this one, and then I got the what do you call it? The marriage or
Yes,
the family. You
yes,
know what I mean? And
yes.
then I got and then I have a meeting at 1:30, so I have to leave a little early so I can go to that meeting. And then
Yeah.
hey,
Busy women
anyway.
get busy stuff done. That's for sure. We get stuff done. So, yes. All right. Is our DAR friend on her way, Abby? Oh, you're
Oh,
on
you're
mute.
muted, Abs.
Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
she's on her way.
Awesome. Awesome. We should have several
Yeah,
others, but sometimes we drag our feet a little bit.
LaDonna,
Our
I
wagon,
did
as I say, we drag our wagons.
I didn't get a background.
Okay, I will look for that here in just a second. Tamara, you should have yours.
I don't have mine either. I looked.
Okay, all right. I will look for yours as well. And let's go ahead and warm up the chat. And let's put all of our exciting information into that chat. What is your link of where you want us to reach you at? Is it a text? Is it an email? Is it Facebook Messenger, LinkedIn Messenger? Is it your appointment link?
Okay, I'm gonna put a phone number in here because I'm telling you all right now that's the best way to reach me.
I tell people if you want to reach me quickly, I don't know what it is, but Facebook Messenger gets me every time, it seems like. And then it's texting me or just call me. But if your name doesn't come up, won't answer. I just there's too many spammers out there, I guess, that just want to sell me Medicaid insurance and I'm Medicare insurance and I'm not even that old yet. So they must be visualizing something different than I see in the mirror. I don't know. So
They're making you plan ahead.
I guess so, but I don't want to plan for that yet. I don't want to. I don't want to yet. There'll be time for that when I need it most. So, and they keep changing the rules so much. Who knows what the rules are going to be in just a few years? I'm not that far away from it, and I don't know what they keep going back and forth. Do we have to have a certain amount of credit or not? And when you're self-employed, if you're not real careful and you don't pay self-employment taxes, you don't get those credits. So I had to go back and readjust some of my tax information so that I paid all of that when my accountant didn't apply it. And now they're saying that we didn't have to do it. Now they're going back and forth. I don't know.
Better to be over than under.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it doesn't matter.
Insurance can be very stressful when it comes to not having, because I'm used to having the Texas Instruments insurance, medical insurance. And once the day my husband says I'm retired, LaDonna no longer has medical insurance. He gets to keep his, but I don't get to keep mine. So maybe that means I'm not going to get sick anymore. I guess that's what the government thinks. I don't know. So there we go. All right. So Dar, the only thing you missed is us warming up the chat. It looks like Dar has an extra large coffee this morning as well. So I just started my cup of coffee, and then my husband just went to McDonald's to get me a a cold coffee, vanilla iced coffee. So when I finish this one, because that's just the mood I'm in today. So why not? All
There
right.
is
So
there is another
um,
half a pot of coffee in the pot.
there you go. So here we go. You know, Dar, I used to chop my own beans and make my own, do the coffee in the grinder and all of that. I've really gotten lazy at my age. I just want to do different things. And now I just went and bought me this cheapy little coffee pot. I think it was like 20 bucks at Walmart that you put the little pods in and you just add your water and it does everything for you. I'm just not, I only drink 1 cup a day though. If I was a huge coffee drinker, I may not have done that. But, just 1 cup a day, it tastes great, no matter if it's grounded or not.
Yeah.
Not grounded, grinded.
I don't know how you live on 1 cup of coffee a day. I can't do
Me
it.
either.
It depends how big your cup is.
Well, it's not that big, but you know what I love about is I did not start drinking coffee till I was in my middle 30s, 40s, middle 40s. So I never drank coffee before then. And then my granddaughter's other grandmother said, no, you just don't know how to drink it. You have to drink it like a milkshake. And
It's
that's what I
creamer.
want. Lots of creamer. My mom always drank it black, so that's all I knew really. So she taught me how to drink coffee, and I just love the taste of it. To me, I can't tell I can drink it at 8 o'clock at night and still go to bed at 10. So
It never used to bother me.
So, all right. So, Dar, the only thing you missed was us warming up the chat with all your important information.
Okay.
While you girls are talking, I'm going to try to find everyone's background. Ask LaDonna is pretty new. So maybe all of you didn't get it for one reason or another. Or maybe Dar's is hiding from her. Who knows? I know Dar changed computer systems too. So some things
Yeah.
get moved over. So I
This is the last time, so
I
will
looked in
put your
Messenger
background in
too.
the chat when I find it. And if I don't, just put your normal backgrounds up for whatever your business is, like Tamara and Jen has in hers, okay? In there. So let's go ahead and go around the room and just give your best, and I mean your very best, 30-second only elevator pitch. 30 seconds only elevator pitch. We are going to get perfected at this, Tamara, Dar, Abby, Jen. We are going to be perfectionists about this one day until we change it again. 30 seconds, and we are going to start with Jen.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Falloon, owner of Vorsta Investments. I give busy professionals the opportunity to own real estate without being landlords. I rescue them from the volatile stock market, put them on a smooth racetrack to consistent passive income, significant tax breaks, and large back-end payouts. Is your money working as hard for you as you work for it? If not, give me a call.
Perfectionist. Woo!
woohoo!
All right, let's go to Abby. Wow, she says. I read those lips.
You're on mute.
Wow, I can't top that quality of conversation.
Yes, you
But
can.
I'll try. Practice, yes. Well, I am Abby Bassie-Cripps, your computer angel, flying in from, oh, that's my old text. Flying flying in to give you relief from your computer issues and give you more safety. What would happen if your computer crashed right now? And how would it affect your business? We all rely on our computers these days. It is always my pleasure to turn your computer frowns around and give you more productivity, ease, and joy back in your life. So bring your computer frustrations that are overwhelming you and book a tech call with me, and I'll fly in to help you. Thank you.
Perfect. Very good, Abby. Very good. Thank you so much. Now let's go to Tamara. 30 seconds.
Okay. Hi, my name is Tamara Patrick. I'm the founder of Just for You Life Brigade, life coaching for restarting you. This is a program designed specifically for women over 50 that are feeling lost and unsure after a major life event. I will help rediscover your purpose, reignite your motivation, and provide clarity and direction so you can start thriving in your life again. I hope y'all have a good day.
Awesome. So much better,
Yay.
Tamara. Woo! And to Miss Dar.
Hello, my name is Darbasi Cripps, your favorite multi-mix media collage artist, Canadian born and Ontario raised in the land of maple syrup and apologies. I specialize in designing unique custom greeting cards that you won't find in any big box or dollar store. The power of a personalized card just really makes someone's day. So if this sounds like anything you're looking for, that's something fun and different in a greeting card to make your loved one feel all warm and fuzzy inside, just visit my website, darscreativecards.ca, to learn more about my collection and how you can place your order today. Let's make every moment count at the touch of uniqueness and delight. Thank you for considering my works of art.
Woo-hoo! You get better every time, Dar. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. And
Thank you.
Miss Sherri, welcome.
Welcome. Sorry for my tardiness. I was actually working on my talk for the 4th. Oh, and forgot what I was doing. So you'll all benefit, right? Sherri Leopold, I'm the CEO of Option Creators and the founder of the Wow Warrior platform. I love helping you shine through the Wow Warrior platform, whether it's as a writer, whether it's interviewing you, or just shining a light on the beautiful human that you are. I help you stand up and stand out as that unrepeatable miracle each and every day, and it's an honor to do so. And that's what I do. I help you be seen, heard, and understood.
And she does love what she does. We can tell that we
Yes.
all love what we do, and that's glorious. I am LaDonna McAbee, your host of Ask LaDonna today. And I am just so joyful that all of you are here to join me in just another momentum hour of my life. So thank you very much. And with that said, so I want I hope all of you brought your questions today. And I want to talk about, if we get stumped, of course, we always have a theory behind every hour that we spend together. We can always talk about procrastination and time management. And Jen is going to help me through this today, just in case I get stumped, or maybe she wants to add something to what I have to say, because you know what? 2 minds are better than 1. So who brought questions today? Tamara's ready. Tamara is always ready with questions.
She always tells me to do the questions. Why? Okay. Anyway, here is my question. My question is, how in the world do you put aside all of your family business and all of your stuff so that you can get busy in work? Because nobody thinks you work.
Okay. So all of you know here on this screen, I have been married 40 plus years. And my husband to this day still does not understand why I cannot take 3 and 4 days a week off all day long with him, because he has 3 and 4 days a week off every week. And sometimes it causes a lot of arguments. But I am in charge of me, and only I am in charge of me. So if I had to learn the hard way, if I wanted it bad enough, I would stand on my own 2 feet. And that is hard. Tamara, it's going to be hard, but you're just going to have to say no. And I did not learn to say no to my children, but I learned to say no to them as they got older. And I don't say no to my grandchildren either, because they're still young. But my children and my husband, I do say no to. It makes them respect me more now. And it's still an argument with my husband some days. I mean, he wanted me to lay in bed with him later today. I did stay in bed until 8, which I'm usually up at 5. But at 8 o'clock,
am
when my
frozen.
alarm went off, I said, I have to go now. It's time for me to get up. I have to get myself together. So you're going to have to say no. And that's hard. No. Sorry, I have to work today. And you know what helps too is say, I have appointments today. I cannot miss. And Jen, wait just 1 second, Abby, and we're coming right to you after Jen. Do you have anything else you would like to add to that?
Here's the thing. If you had a 9-to-5 job at an office, right? And they said you can't have your cell phones, nobody would be able to reach you, like maybe on an emergency line, like your desk line. So here's the thing, 9 to 5 or whatever those hours are, you cannot call me because I'm going to shut my phone off. And so that's what I have to do. But you can call me from 12 to 1 because that's my lunch time. And you can call me at 5 and anytime after. Now, if it's an emergency, that's different, but it is not an emergency if you can't find your shoes. It's not an emergency that you're stuck in traffic and you're bored, right? Like somebody better be bleeding out their eyeballs if you call me between 9 and noon and 1 and 5. Those are office hours.
Absolutely. And you know, your phone does have Autumn, where you swipe it and it'll have call me later or I'll call you back later. And I've learned to use those. And now they know when I'm doing that, I'm on a call. And my daughter will say, my oldest daughter, that drives me crazy. But you know what? Okay. Was your ass on fire? Because if it wasn't, I don't want to hear about it. Because guess what? When she's managing the Texas Roadhouse, when she's on her shift, she will not return my call sometimes for 4 days. But she's like, but Mom, it's different. It's you. No, it's not different. I'm important too. We lost Star. I'm sure she'll be back. Abby, you had something to say about that?
Well, I found that sharing my calendar, color-coded events, very useful. So the idea is that now with Dar, I don't disturb her with her card making time. Maybe I'll bring her a coffee if I'm free to do so. That type of thing. So like if I'm got my appointments, that's all of that is boundaries. I have the time available for lunch, time available for supper, and we have to we have to have those boundaries. Like Dart just can't come in and on a one-on-one meeting and say, what do you want for lunch? She knows that. So having the color-coded calendar really makes a difference.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now, can we flip this? So this is me because my husband has a job, but now he's working from home. And I am the worst about like barging in when I don't have one, and I'm like, what do you want to do? Or, let's leave Friday and head out of town. And he's like, bitch, I gotta work. And I'm like, what? Like, you're at home. Like, and I'm really bad about that with my friends too. If I have a time where I'm like, oh, I can make a quick phone call. It doesn't matter to me that my friends have jobs, right? So I'm like calling them and they're like, I'm at work. Is everything okay? And I'm like, oh, I just want to talk. And they're like, you can't call me right now. And I'm like, why do you have a job? So it can go both ways as entrepreneurs, right? We can tend to lose sight and the respect for other people's schedules as well.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and you crack me up.
I do that to my sister all the time because I forget that she works at night. So I'll
Who
call her.
works?
What are you doing? Why aren't you going? Let's go do. No.
I love it. But see, it's all about It's all about thinking outside the box, and we don't always think before we pick up that phone or yell across the room like Dar and Abby, and like my husband's been redoing our stairs, and he'll just crank up the saw on his days off, and the stairs is on the other side of my office wall. I'm like, what are you doing, mister? I forgot. But again, it is all about what Sherri put in the chat. How did you word it, Sherri? You said,
just boundaries.
yes, setting boundaries. Sherri's husband is retired, so I'm sure there's a lot of boundaries there.
I just had just unmuted. I feel like I've trained him pretty well now, because he knows that I'm like taping shows or interviews a lot. So like it really like set me sideways where I'm taping and I can see him with the mower, and he's right in front of the window. I mean, there's no way it would not interrupt. I'm like, so we had to have a discussion. I'm like, listen, anytime you're going to turn something on electrical and be outside this window, or whatever you're doing outside in the front yard, and you need to come tell me or ask. So he's very good at it now, coming in. He's like, hey, I'm going to mow. Can you tell me what time? So he does ask now, because I might have been a little terse the first time it happened.
The idea of giving people your color, like give him your calendar.
Yeah.
And like maybe print it for the week.
He doesn't, I can't get him to use his own digital calendar. I'd have to make a copy of my little paper.
Print it and put it on the refrigerator. And here's the times you can mow. Look, put that in your calendar. Here's the times you can mow. Here's the times you may talk to me.
Yeah. So he's actually really good at it. And I actually, if I need to not be disturbed, I always have my office door shut. And if the door is shut, he typically will not come in, or he will turn the handle very slowly. And I can sometimes hear him. And I've been on interviews and I've heard him, he's doesn't say anything. And then I've heard him shut the door, because he knows if I'm talking out loud, he just goes away. So he's pretty good at allowing the space, at least in my opinion, for that. Rarely does he ever just bust in. But he is pretty good about, hey, I'm going to see my dad at the nursing home. You want to go? I have like 30 minutes. It takes 30 minutes to get there. So like, that's going to be a no. So yeah, it is a little challenging with the being retired and him kind of just doing whatever he wants whenever he wants. I like the flexibility of the entrepreneur, but you gotta give me at least, one day is good notice, 6 hours, something.
And when my children were younger and lived at home, I would shut the door, and they knew if I had the door shut, then I was on. I mean, back then it was all on the phone, there was no all of this going on. That then they would know that do not disturb. But then I had to remember to open the door so that they would know when they could come in and say, hey, Mom, can I go to Bailey's house? Hey, Mom, can I go here? Because
yeah, and hey, Mom, it's been 6 hours. Are you really still on the phone?
Yeah, are you living?
Yeah.
I had a sign on our door during COVID, when all the Zooms were, and that's all you could do, right? And my kids were all here. Oh my God. And it was a zoo. And so I had a sticky board that I put on the door, and it would say like in a podcast, and it said, piss off. But they would do though, is they would open the door real quiet, and then they would army crawl across the floor so they weren't on camera. I was like, how is that not distracting? Like, you may as well just come in and interrupt it, because I'm watching you army crawl to whatever you think you need is in here. And, you're on a podcast trying not to like pay attention to that. I'm like, you may as well just walk in and interrupt at that point. But
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But that goes right along with our theme today, time management and procrastination. Because if you don't have it, I mean, you girls have heard me say, if it's not on my calendar, it's not getting done. It does not exist. It does not exist. And I mean, I'm not showing up at a doctor's appointment unless it's on my calendar. I'm not showing up to anything, anywhere, unless it's on my calendar. I mean, I'm so bad that I would forget to take my 2 o'clock medication in the middle of the day. I don't really forget the morning one because I do it first thing in the morning. And I don't forget my nighttime one because I do it right before I go to bed. But that 2 o'clock, I have to set me an alarm on my phone or I will forget the 2 o'clock every day. And then the kind of meds I take, it makes me sick when I miss one. Within 2 hours, I'm, sick from not taking it. So it's all about that time management and really knowing how worthy you are. I want to put it back on you. You are worthy. Sherri teaches us you have valuable stuff to bring to the table each and every time. You are worthy. Sherri teaches that in her WOW platforms, that, you make yourself valuable because you are valuable. Sherri, did you have something else?
I did. I wanted to just point one thing out, and it's only because I'm taking a course right now, so it's very much on top of mind for me. You said something to Tamara that you said it's hard. And I would just like to respectfully ask that we stop saying shit like that to ourselves. Don't say it's hard. It's not hard.
Amen, sister.
Say it's easy. So when you say it's hard to get them to understand what I'm doing, say it's easy to get them to understand what I'm doing, because your brain is in execution mode. So it's going to look for the difficult way to do things. And so we have to flip that language in terms of, I really only want what to go through this ticker tape in my mind, exactly what I want, the way I want it. That's, you hear people talk about being in flow. That's part of what flow is really focusing your energy and your mental track, that language that's always running to what you want.
Positivity.
It's not hard.
Positivity. Keep it positive. You're right, Sherri. Right on. See, this is why a group of women always need to get together to bounce off of each other, because it is. If you say it's hard, it's going to be hard. But if you say it's going to be easy, it's going to be easy. I'm trying to reverse psychologically upon myself to reinvent words, like I'm talking to my 5-year-old now grandson. He's 5 now. That, some words are not curse words, but they're not nice words. So we're just like you do with every young child, you're trying to do that reverse psychologically trifecta on them, that we don't want to use the word hate. We don't want to use the word dislike. We don't want to use those words. They're not curse words, but we don't want to use those. And I'm trying so hard to take all the negativity out of my language. And that's what Sherri's saying.
Yeah, and I think also, Tamara, if that's the case where people are interrupting you, because we teach people how to treat us, we have to remember that when they're doing the right thing, we acknowledge. When you say your granddaughter, you're on something and she doesn't interrupt you, for example, asking to do something and she respects your space, you immediately need to go out and say, man, I really appreciate you letting me get that done uninterrupted. I am so thankful. You have to catch them being good and doing the right thing as well, because they do more for praises and raises, right? So like, they're going to keep doing what they get praised for. So we just have to remember to, encourage that behavior that we want as well.
And I know
She tells me all the time about that. She'll tell me, Mom, you don't tell me this, or I'm like, oh, hey. So yes, I'm working at this. This is a work in progress.
As are we all.
Forever.
Yes.
All right, next question. What is that next bowling over question?
Okay, so let's touch on the procrastination part.
Okay.
Right? Because I am a terrible procrastinator. Like, I have things blocked out. Like, I don't even know where my planner is right now, but I mean, I have all this crap. It's important, right? It needs to be done, but it's not emergent. And if it's not emergent, then I just ignore it, right? But there's things, here's what's stupid. There are things that are so easy. If I just did it, they'd be gone forever, right? If I took 10 minutes, 15, 30 minutes to just do it, I would never have to do it again. But some of those things have been on my planner for months.
Jen, put it on your calendar. Give me an example. Give me one example of what you're talking about.
Okay, so man, I don't have any idea where my planner is because I bounce it around the house so much.
And she's always moving. One time she's in Arizona, the next time she's in Missouri, the next time she's in Texas. I don't know how you keep up with your clothing on top of your planner.
I don't. You know, I lost my underwear for like, I hate that this is recording, but really, I lost my underwear for like a week. I had to go to Walmart and buy
That
underwear.
happens.
Yeah, and so now my planner's gone. Which
Just go find some red ones. You'll be
it
okay.
doesn't matter. For instance, there has been on my planner for, I know, 2 months to do a video for Dar, do a video for Kamal's book, and do a video for Dr. Joy's book. I am smoking hot right now. It would not take me 10 minutes to do each of those videos. A minute, so it could be a quick reel, a minute, 3 minutes of my time. It has been on my calendar for months. And I'm like, I don't know why I just don't do it. It's so easy.
Because it's easier, it's better, it sounds better for you to go have lunch with the girls instead. So put it on your Google digital calendar so you can't misplace it, and block it out. At 1 o'clock today, I'm going to do Dar's video. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I'm going to do Kamal's video. On Monday, I'm going to clean the toilets, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, you just follow your calendar. You cannot skip over it because it's a meeting. It is a meeting, Jen. And that's what keeps me out of the procrastination mode. And it always had, before there was digital calendar, I used to have one on my desk when I was young without children, and I wrote everything on there. But then I'm a doodler, so then it would have little doodles all over it too, drawn out. But then when my girls got older, it was like I had to put it on a big board, hang it in the laundry room on the way out the door, so that Dad knew what child he was picking up and taking where and dropping off, and what color coded I was to take the other daughter, or if he was out of town. I even had a calendar for our dinner, because if not, we probably would have not ate, because I was busy. I was a busy entrepreneur back then. I was a busy mom. I was a busy, PTO president and all of that garb. And I was busy. So I had different calendars. And it's so easy now with only one calendar. You can color code it. You can stack it. Dar and I've worked a lot on her calendar. And I said, you need to make sure your calendar is connected to Abby's calendar, because she kept overlapping and putting things on church time, or, where they would have doctor's appointments, because you're only one person. You're only one person. I get these clients that has a children calendar and a husband calendar and their work calendar and their off work calendar. No, you're only one person. Jen can only be in one place. So one calendar will do it all. So block it out. If it's going to take you 1 minute, block out 30 minutes. And this is why I say 30 minutes. Because if I don't over exaggerate my time, my poor fur friends would never get to go out and potty. Nor would LaDonna. Yeah. Because I will forget to get up and go take them out if it's not on because I literally follow my calendar every day. I get up, first thing I look at, and just block it out, Jen. Or you know what, LaDonna can start hounding you like I do Tamra.
Oh God.
Have you started doing that yet?
Yes, but that's what she does. But she keeps telling me to put everything on my calendar. And I'm like, okay, so I used to, when I wrote it out, I used to write down everything. Wake up, take the dogs out, feed the dogs, whatever. But now that I have this digital calendar, I suck at keeping track of it. I do. I suck at keeping track
You
of my
don't suck.
calendar.
You don't
Ah,
suck.
Yeah.
You don't
Sherri.
suck.
And
You're
Tamara,
brilliant. You're busy, and you just have to reframe your mind.
Mhm.
Reframe your mind. I'm great at this. I'm getting better at this every day.
See, and that's what I have. Okay, so Sherri's right. I'm fighting my negativity. I fight it all the time. But when you say something like it's hard, you don't think that's negative. But it is, because you're telling your mind, oh, this is hard. So you're absolutely right. And Sherri, thank you so much. I'm going to go do my calendar.
Good girl.
calendars too, because I have to have things written out. And then it goes to the phone. And sometimes like my discovery appointments, obviously that goes straight to my phone. So I have to check my phone every evening to make sure somebody didn't book an appointment for the next day that I don't. And so every night before I go to bed, I'll sync my calendars and just make sure I'm on the same page. And then looking at it the last thing before I go to bed, I know, okay, I have an 8 o'clock. I have a 9 o'clock. What time can I get up and then get ready and like function? And so just make that a habit to do every night. Just make sure your calendars are synced.
Absolutely. And you know what, Jen, to the calendar fact is that every night Mark will say, well, what time does your Zoom meetings start? Because he knows I work, he forgets sometimes, but he's learning now that work starts way before a Zoom and lasts after a Zoom, because you have to do other things besides just get on and talk on the Zoom. You have to prepare for your this week, today, tomorrow, whatever. And it helps him to remember that that after 9 o'clock, he's probably going to get a lot of those swipes. I'll call you back later, text me, whatever, and but it really, the only time I get sidetracked on my calendar, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to handle it on my own, is when people make appointments at the last minute. And I will forget, because I'll say, oh, I have time to run to the grocery store. Oh, the dogs get an extra time out today to go outside and potty. And I'll be outside and somebody will, grab my calendar, in the next 10 minutes. I'm going to have to start blocking it out after a certain time or something. That's the only thing I've caught that Google doesn't take care of yet. That
I have mindset where they cannot make an appointment on the day that it is. It has to be the next day.
Yeah. So is there
because I'm too fluid that way as well with
set up
the
your Google
hired
Calendar,
hubby.
Sherri? Do you know?
Well, I integrate my bookings system with my Google Calendar, but my CRM, I have it set in my CRM that way that they cannot book on the
Okay,
day.
I will talk to my tech people about that. I bet my CRM will
Yeah.
do that too then.
Yeah, because
Absolutely
we have
will.
the same framework one, so you can do it.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing I haven't figured out yet. And I don't like being, I do block out office hours and stuff. Somebody else I talked to, I'm like, where am I going to get all these office hours at to get caught up? And she said, oh no, I take every Thursday off to do just office hours. So I block off time every day for office hours, which is good. Because like if Tamara, she's in my coaching program. So if she calls and says, LaDonna, I really need to talk to you, I can block off some of my office hours for Tamara. Or if I have something that comes up that needs my attention right away, then I can, throw something in on the office hours. But it did help so much for me to do that so that I could get caught up on videos, on making, filling out my calendar, things like that.
I have a suggestion for that, Jen, for what you're talking about. tell me, why would you want to do those 3 things that you mentioned?
Um, because like I want to support my friends, right?
Mhm.
And if I ever have a book, then I want them to support me back, right? But I do believe in their books. They are great books.
Yes.
And so, and those are
But-
things that, I mean, selfishly, it does help me, right? Because now that's a post I can put on LinkedIn that I don't have to kind of think about, right? And I can endorse them and, and then I would want them to share the love and endorse me back. And, but it
So that
opens me up.
I knew what you were going to say. So my question is, perhaps it's not being put on your calendar with the right words to cause you to act. If you had that 30 minutes, because it would not take you more than 30 minutes, but if you scheduled that 30 minutes is called Love on My Friends, you'd be more likely to show up in that half hour to do that.
Yeah. So the other day, LaDonna asked, how can we help each other? And we all put, can you leave a Google review? Pretty much. I did that right away. Right away. And in that same time, I could have been like, look at all these cards Dar made. Look how beautiful. And this is how you get a hold of her. Like, that's like 10 seconds, right? Oh, look at this book from Dr. Joy. And I highlighted some of my favorite things in their paper clips. It's not like I have to search for it. It's super fast. But then here's my mentality, right? Like, oh my gosh, if I have 30 minutes, I really need to make these calls. Because I shut my Facebook ads down because I was so overwhelmed with the outreach that I had to shut it down because I am only one person. And they're still coming in though. And I'm like, gosh, in that 30 minutes, I could make, 5 phone calls. And that's what makes me money. So that's kind of like where I've tried to schedule my things too, is what makes me money. Those are the
Sure.
things I have to do first because, like we didn't do any deals last year. If we don't do some deals this year and I have to get a job, things are going to get real ugly real quick. Right. So it's like I'm really kind of in this panic mode because I really thought we would have a deal done quarter 1. It's quarter 2 and we're no closer to having a deal. Like it's getting better, but like panic kind of starts to set in a little bit, right? And it's like, I have to make this money. I have to get these investor funds in. I have to, find an underwriter. Like I have an underwriter and he's great and we're training him, but it's training. And it's like, that sucks. Not only my time, but my energy because I hate it so much. And after, an hour call trying to get through the language barriers, and I'm just done. I'm like, I have to take a nap because I just can't function. And, it's so also like as we're scheduling things, like what are the energy drainers? And that's something that I'm trying to work through too, is what are the things I hate the most that I can hire out? And can I do that cheaply enough that I can afford it now? And then, like upgrade when I do get a deal closed.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I'm learning. I posted that in there. I'm learning in the in that class I'm taking as well, is you need to learn to train yourself to do the thing you hate first. You do it first. Because the reality is, if you did that first thing at 8 o'clock in the morning and trained whoever and spent that time for 8 o'clock, you would feel so good for the whole rest of the day. That's and that is what she's saying. She's trained like Olympic athletes and all these people, and that is the one of the number one features of someone who is very highly successful, is they always do the thing they least want to do first and check it off first thing in the morning. The very first thing, get it done. And because then they feel successful the whole rest of the day and everything goes easier.
Well, and two, Jen, I want to add to this, and I want to give you an example on, and I know you guys are going to think this is weird. All of us, we pay a lot of money to live wherever we live, right? No matter how much it is, it's a lot. Electric, gas, water, the mortgage, the rent, whatever it is, right? And then we, as entrepreneurs, we work here, we live here, we're here more than anywhere else. Like my husband gets to go off to a clean fab every day, 3 and 4 days a week. His office is clean, everything's in order, he knows where everything is. But for me, if my house gets disrupted, then my entire life is disrupted. So I spread out the things, like every Monday morning before I start my workday, all 4 toilets in this house is cleaned. I have 4.5 bathrooms and I clean all 4.5 bathrooms. I get it done. And guess what? It only takes me like 30 minutes to do all 4.5 of them. Right? On Sunday mornings, I clean my cooktop. I have a glass cooktop. It's a pain in the rump. It's beautiful when it's clean, but I do that on every Sunday morning. It's on my calendar. Just get it over with. Just get it. It doesn't make me any money, but what it does do, it makes me feel good. And yes, in our entrepreneurial world, it is, everyone says, do what makes us money first. But if you don't feel good about your environment or your heart or your gut, then you're not going to feel good, even if, no matter what. So, it's going to make, I'm going to use Dar, for example, because she's here. It's going to make Dar feel great when she gets to post your video on her website or on her LinkedIn. Just sit down one morning and you have 3 videos that you need to do, reels on. It'll take 3 minutes of your time. Be done with it. Be done with it. One morning, wipe all 3 of them out and be done with it. And then that's how I do my things. And it really keeps me feeling better about my surroundings, inside and out. Doesn't make me any money, but it makes me feel better about my environment. When I walk into the kitchen, my new cooktop looks great. When I go sit on the
You
potty,
feel accomplished. That's the other thing.
I'm sorry, Sherri.
You feel accomplished. That's the thing that's huge. And that spills over into everything when we're talking about that mind reel, right? That's running around. The thing is, you keep thinking, Jen, you need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. You wouldn't be saying that all the time. You keep saying, oh, I need to do that. Oh, I need to do that. Would all be time that could be spent, having lunch with somebody or whatever, some fun thing, right?
It's a mental thing. It's all in our mindset. And if your mind feels great about something, that I accomplished that today, that's done. I don't have to deal with that for another week now. Next. And then I move on to my next ordeal. So just always think that way. Yes, we have to make money, keep the lights on, or do whatever we have to do. But we also have to make ourselves feel good inside and out. So, all right, Dar, what question did you bring to the table with you today?
I don't think I have a question.
Okay. Abby, did you bring up? Oh, go ahead, Dar.
Oh, yeah. So, but I would like to say, that all of the topics we touched on were all topics that resonated for sure. Especially getting things done in the morning. First thing in the morning is my best time of day.
Mine too, Dar.
Yeah.
In the afternoons, my mind fog comes in.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to think in the afternoons.
I think a lot of us entrepreneurs are that way.
Yes. Absolutely.
Not you, eh? Oh.
I'm just not a morning
like,
person.
I'm ready to go 24/7.
I used to be not a morning person. Just ask Abby.
So Abby, did you bring any questions with you today that you need answered or that you would like to ask?
No, I was hoping the idea was listening in. I would come up with a question, but actually, I have to agree with everything that's been said here. In terms of time management and stuff. I don't have anything in particular to add.
Okay.
We'll say this too. Dar and I every Monday, which I missed last Monday or yesterday, or oh my gosh, it's Thursday, isn't it? Okay, Dar, we got to get our meeting, but Dar and I are scheduled for every Monday, and we do accountability, and we write out 3 things. It doesn't even have to be business, right? What are 3 things that we really want to accomplish in this week? And then the next Monday we say, here's your 3 things. Did you accomplish them? Well, no, but it got started. You know, like for some of mine, I thought it would be easy in and out, but then when I got in there, I was like, well, crap, now this I didn't expect, and this, you know, so it's like, but it's that accountability, right? Like, why didn't you get it done? And it's not to shame, but it's like, okay, this is easy, so I know you can get it done. And it's like that cheerleader mentality too that we need, right? And but then there is something to be said about having to know on Monday at 1 o'clock, I put these easy things that very easily could have been done in a week, and I'm like, I don't want to say I didn't do it, right? Like, so it does motivate you to be like, I really just need to get these done. And for neither of us, they're not hard things. Well, mine turned out to be a little harder, but we're doing a whole CRM thing and it's been a nightmare. But they're not incredibly hard things. They're things that they could easily be done or at least started. Some of them are, especially for Dar, hers are like a process.
Right.
But did you at least get the first part of the process done? Awesome. Now, did you get the second part done? And so I feel like for me, that's super helpful.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? It's just like goals. If you set that up every Monday, even if you don't get it finished, look what you have accomplished, not what you haven't accomplished. And if you wouldn't have that credibility, accountability meeting set up, then you probably wouldn't have started it at all, worked on it at all. So
Exactly.
don't
Yeah.
even go through what you didn't get done. Just cheer one another on about what you do. I have one client that I work with from my home sweet home business. I've been working with her for a couple of years. Her home organization is horrible. She says horrible. And I say, no, it's just different. And like, she can't keep things tidied up. And we go through things every week at a certain time on a certain day. And we've been doing this for a couple of years, you know, clean out a closet, start cleaning out a closet. You know, now she knows every time she goes to the closet, she has to remove 3 things she hasn't worn in the last year. If you haven't worn it in the last year, probably never going to wear it. If you haven't fit into it in the last 10 years, then you're probably never going to fit. And guess what? If you do lose the weight or gain the weight or whatever it is, you're going to want to go shop anyway. So put it in a donation box.
Here's my recommendation. Move every 2 months and you will be amazed at what the minimalist you become.
No, thank you. Don't.
Look at
Not
us.
moving.
Absolutely not. We're not doing that
No.
part.
We're never moving again.
So I'm going to go back to Tamara. Tamara, is there anything else that you want to talk about today?
No, y'all done got me all kinds of ideas, and I'm really gonna go work on my calendar because yeah, I really am gonna go work on it now.
Yeah.
I'm
And you
gonna
know what?
start-
It's the ideas and then going and implementing them, just like she just
yeah,
said. Go implement them right away. Don't say I'm going to do that tonight, because tonight never comes. Tomorrow never
right,
comes. It's I'm
right,
going to go do that right now. I mean, that is
exactly.
something that you can do while you're doing something else, possibly, you know?
Yep. Well, it's just like I
Multi-
said, I have a Zoom meeting coming up. Guess what I'll be doing? Well,
Yes. Absolutely. All right. So in the chat, I just put on there a screenshot. Please make sure that you go to your social media and let everyone know at least one thing that you learned about, or you remembered about, or you had a wowzer moment about. Dar, you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to uh, relate to what Jen was saying about the compatibility partner, accountability partner, sorry. Anyway, I just wanted to reiterate that, yeah, it's really helping because like you said, LaDonna, at least the 3 jobs I've been doing have been on my recycle list for getting things done for what, the last month, Jennifer?
Yes.
That's
Oh,
it.
and I love what
Say it with,
Sherri just put in the chat. Make sure you guys grab that. Stages of ownership, accountability, where do you tend to live? And
mhm.
it lists like 7 different ways that you can achieve some other things that you need to.
Yeah, and they're all things that the 3 things on my list are things that I wouldn't have done otherwise.
There you
But
go.
at least it's getting slowly done now, and it's becoming more and more demanding to get the dies organized. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it's
Absolutely.
highly recommended.
Yeah, and that's something I would share, LaDonna, when we talk about procrastination and things like that. Something that I've learned recently. I mean, like, been in business 26 years, but I never really thought about the fact that when people say I need to be accountable or I need an accountability partner, that isn't actually about the other person. Jen shows up in that meeting and Dar shows up in that meeting for themselves to go tell that person what they did. It's
Yeah.
it's the ownership of I'm showing up and I'm accountable to myself. You're just hearing what I'm accounting to myself. It's the
Yeah.
ownership that's important, not the fact that somebody else, you have to go meet with them. Because the problem is when you look at it like, oh, I got to meet with Jen and I didn't do my stuff, that's where guilt and shame and disappointment in yourself can come in if you didn't hit all the things. So that is definitely not the way that you want to view that, because that starts the negative dialogue, right? Like, I fell short or I didn't do enough or whatever. Like, Jen, when you're talking about the meetings, like, oh crap, I didn't do these videos. I need to do, I need to do that. Number 5, that procrastination lives there. And that's actually not who you are. And you don't want to be in that room. That is not where
You stop
excellence
coming.
is.
You stop
Yeah,
showing up. And that's
right.
what I say about accountability partners is that, it used to work out when you would go meet in the coffee shop or whatever, because you enjoyed that time outside the house away from the children. But then over the years, it's gotten less and less because people start doubting themselves. Oh my gosh, I didn't do it. I'm not going to go this week. I'm not going to show up this week. No, cheer each other on, but cheer
Right.
yourself on for what you did get done.
And here's the other thing. So it's not a shame, right?
No.
It's like, but what, because it's perspective, right? And Dar might say, well, I didn't get this done because I didn't know how to organize it or what. And now not that I'm an organizer, but I could be like, well, hey, did you think about this? And vice versa, right? Like, I can't get this done. I'm stuck here. And Dar can be like, well, duh, why don't you just do this? And you're like, oh, why didn't I think of that? So it's really healthy, right? And we get to bounce ideas off of each other, right? So it's not like, shame on you, you didn't do this thing. It's like, well,
No,
but
it's
why
not like
didn't
that at
you do it?
all.
That's awesome.
And can I help you? Like, is there anything that and we're completely different worlds, right? But maybe I could research something for her. And hey, I found these bins. They're not very expensive. And I think this would help you organize your thing, or at least give you some ideas, so it's not just, it's not just about the to-do list.
Yes.
Right. And then there's that relationship that's being built.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's
the best
awesome
part.
to have that compatibility where you can bounce things off with no judging, just working things out together. So Sherri, please do me a favor and put that worksheet, that little sheet that you just put in the chat, over into our group on Facebook.
Sure.
When you get a chance.
Mhm.
And guys, go over to your social media and go over to the group, Facebook group, and share over there as well. And I know at least some of you, if not all of you, I will see over in Margaret's platform now. It is time for me to go over there and show up. And or Dr. Pat will chop on me for sure. So all right, everyone, have a great week and see you next week, if not
Save the
before.
chat.
All right, everybody.
Bye.
Thank
Save
you.
the chat.
Bye.